Good morning and half a day, everyone. My name is Senator Mary Camacho Torres, and on behalf of Senator Telena Cruz Nelson, who is the chair on the Committee on Education, Self-Determination and Historic Preservation, Infrastructure, Border Safety, Federal and Foreign Affairs, and Maritime Transportation, it is my honor and pleasure to present this resolution today, resolution number 249-36LS. And I'd like to thank my colleagues, Speaker Therese Terlahi, Senator Amanda Shelton, and Senator Joanne Brown for joining me this morning, as well as representatives from the Department of Public Health and Social Services, Guam Behavioral, Department of Corrections, Department of Youth Affairs, UOG Social Workers Students, Mr. Tom Babauta, Deputy Superintendent of GDOE, Special Ed. I also see Miss Erica and Mr. Joe Sanchez as well. All of you, I can't name you individually. Thank you very much for being here. Resolution 249-36LS was introduced by Senator Telena Cruz Nelson, and it is relative to Senator Telena Cruz Nelson, V. Anthony Atta, Joe S. St. Augustine, Tina Rosamund Barnes, Amanda L. Shelton, Jose Pito Terlahi, Clinton E. Rigel, Therese M. Terlahi, Sabina F. Paris, Frank F. Blas Jr., Christopher M. Duenas, and myself. This is relative to recognizing the observance of 2022 National Social Worker Month in March 22 with the theme, "The Time is Right for Social Work," and commending Guam social workers for their dedication to improving the well-being of the people of Guam and enhancing their basic needs. Be it resolved by Imena 36 na Legislature in Guahan, whereas originating in volunteer efforts for social betterment in the late 19th century in Europe and North America, social work became an occupation in the early 20th century and achieved professional status by the 1920s. And whereas this year's 2022 National Social Worker Month theme, "The Time is Right for Social Work," embodies how social workers rose to meet the most pressing challenges of our lifetimes, the COVID-19 pandemic, even as our island continues to overcome the hardships the pandemic has caused. And whereas social workers work hard and studied for years to become competent professionals who work to empower individuals and communities, and they value interpersonal relationships, teamwork, and trust. And whereas social workers have continued to push for changes that have made our community a better place to live, including but not limited to job placement and a livable wage, improved workplace safety, and social safety net programs that help mitigate and reform in the fight against poverty, hunger, and homelessness, and in healthcare, mental health care, and ensuring equal rights. And whereas the Department of Public Health and Social Services, Guam's Health Professional Licensing Board and EMS Division, and Child Protective Social Services social workers had worked strenuously and unflinchingly during the COVID-19 pandemic by helping deploy the COVID-19 vaccine, prioritizing essential workers, implementing mitigating strategies, creating contact tracing systems, expanding the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and mandating the requirements for SNAP benefits for GDOE and DODEA students, school students. And whereas the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center's social workers play a crucial role in promoting mental and behavioral health, and do so in a broad range of settings, which includes providing services to diagnose and treat mental illness, and to restore and improve social and psychosocial functioning to promote wellness, to prevent and identify, and to address the social needs from the social determinants of health. Whereas the Guam Department of Education School Health Services mission is to enhance the growth of all students by promoting health and wellness in a safe and supportive environment. And the Student Support Services Division and Special Education Division supports all public schools in the areas of behavioral assessment, counseling, identification, and support of students eligible under Section 504 and truancy prevention. And GDOE school social workers are uniquely positioned to elevate students' voices, hone their critical thinking skills, and capitalize on their strengths and assets. And whereas the University of Guam recognizes the need for social workers on Guam, along with other communities within Micronesia, due to social issues such as addictions to crystal methamphetamine and other drug use, poverty, high incidences of sexual assault and abuse, teen pregnancy, and homelessness. And in striving to assist in the demand for social workers, the university offers a Bachelor of Social Work program to help meet the needs for social workers and increase recruitment into the field on the island. And whereas the Guam Department of Youth Affairs and Guam Department of Corrections Caseworker and Counseling Services Division provide evaluation geared toward treatment of causative factors, addressing emotional and psychological barriers of both clients and families, and provide supportive social caseworker, counseling, family counseling, and school employment placement. And whereas many local nonprofit agencies that have provided social work services to individuals and their families include, but are not limited to, West Care Pacific Islands, Sanctuary Incorporated, Catholic Social Services, Ali'i Shelter, Erica's House, and American Legion Guam. And they offer a broad array of programs and services that address the gaps in services aligned with their mission. And they have targeted services that support their needs by the recovery and resiliency of individuals struggling with homelessness, death of a loved one, substance abuse, mental illness, poverty, and adverse experiences. And whereas every human contributes to the world in some way, but social workers contribute goodness and light, helping people see hope rather than despair. And they directly serve many individuals who have walked through traumatic experiences and deal with a lot of fear and turmoil. And whereas all of Guam's social workers work in all facets on our island to meet people, no matter their circumstances, and enhance human well-being, and help meet the basic needs of all people, especially those who are vulnerable, oppressed, and are living in poverty. Whereas, how wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment to improve the world, by Anne Frank. And that is what we should remember when we think of social workers. They take our fears and troubles and give each of us their dedication and determination to see us through our challenges. And now, therefore, be it resolved that Imenay 36 na legislature ng Guahan does hereby, on behalf of the people of Guam, recognize the observance of 2022 National Social Worker Month in March 22, with the theme, "The Time is Right for Social Work," and to commend Guam's social work for their dedication to improving the well-being of the people of Guam and enhancing their basic needs. And be it further resolved that the speaker certify and the legislative secretary attest to the adoption hereof, and that copies of the same be thereafter transmitted to the Department of Public Health and Social Services Health Professional Licensing Board, the EMS Division and Child Protective Services, to the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, to Guam Department of Education Student Support Services Division and Special Education Division, the University of Guam, the Department of Youth Affairs, the Guam Department of Corrections Caseworker and Counseling Services Division, West Care Pacific Islands Sanctuary Incorporated, the Catholic Social Services, Ali'i Shelter, Erica's House, American Legion Guam, and to the Honorable Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero, Imagahagan, Guam, duly and regularly adopted by Imenay 36 Legislature in Guahan on the 10th day of September, 2021. And I would like to welcome my colleagues, beginning with Speaker Terlahi. If you'd like to address the panel today for this, that's here to receive this recognition, Senator Terlahi.
Well, thank you very much. And very honored to have all of you here. I'm I'm sure Senator Nelson would have loved to be here with us, but she's on military leave right now. But very honored that you are all here with us and took the time to join us. And we wish we could do this in person and recognize each of you. I know earlier we talked about who is here, and I want to especially recognize the National Association of Social Workers for Guam for all your work to coordinate all the social workers of Guam, and for your focus in continuing to provide input to the legislature and the policy that we are establishing, and your continued advocacy on behalf of those people who you serve. And again, thanks to each of you in your work that you do. And I know you are our frontliners really when it comes to addressing lives, really daily lives and the challenges that people are facing all over Guam. And so I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you, Senator.
Senator Shelton.
Thank you very much, Senator Torres. Hafide to all of the social workers here from across our different agencies and community organizations and the social work organization. Thank you very much for your service, and we're happy to celebrate this special week with you and to recognize you for all of the work that you do in our community, where you are focused on serving our people, especially those who are vulnerable, who are oppressed, who are living in poverty, and who are really suffering. And I know that this time of the pandemic has been extremely difficult, and you've seen this in our families, our communities, our students, and all those who you are serving. And so we are extremely grateful. We know this is a heavy burden to take on as you continue to serve and put the needs of all of these folks before your own in many times situations. And so thank you, and we'll continue to pray for you and for all of the good work that you are doing for our island and our people. Siduos Ma'asi.
Thank you, Senator Nelson. Senator Brown, do you care to share a few words?
Thank you very much. And certainly I echo the comments of the speaker and my colleagues in recognizing the work that you do, which is very challenging work. I'm sure emotionally, it's not always easy to deal with the issues in our community. And sometimes the circumstances and the work that you do, it's very challenging. And it's I'm sure fulfilling when you see the success stories, but also, you see the other side of our community that is challenged in many ways from we often hear about how our children are not being taken care of to the best of our ability, and just some of the stressors that happen in our community, where even as adults, we're not always both, the most responsible for ourselves or for others in our family that we're supposed to be taking care of. And so certainly your involvement, your intervention, I'm sure a lot of tears and frustration that you share in doing the work that you do is challenging and fulfilling at the same time. That makes the work that you do very unique and very special and very needed in our community. We always wish there's a day that we don't have all these issues, and we read them in the paper, we hear about it. Some people see it and feel it in their own families. And families that are not able sometimes, because they're broken, are not able to take care of themselves and each other. And you become their family and reaching out and helping that part of our community, a very important part that needs that support. So it's wonderful to be able to share this morning with you and recognize all the work that you do every day and all year long. So thank you for the work that you do, because you really do make a difference. Can you imagine if we didn't have social workers in our community? While we're challenged, imagine how much further down we would be without the work that you do and the challenging work that you do in our community. So thank you to all of you, and thank you for sharing this time with us this morning. Thank you very much, Senator Torres, for the opportunity to comment on this resolution.
Thank you. And we have many with us in the audience today, and I'd like to do my best to have at least one representative speak on behalf of their division. May I call upon Department of Public Health and Social Services, one rep to volunteer to share some words? Melanie, are you representing your
Hey, sure. Thank you, Senator. Just on behalf of the Department of Youth Affairs and Child Protective Services, I want to thank everyone, every social worker. You're all essential, and the time has never been more right for social work. Biba and thank you for the good work that you do in the community.
Thank you, Director Brennan. And may I now call upon Director Ariola from Guam Behavioral Health?
Thank you, good Senator. And thank you, Speaker and Senators, for your time, and to my colleagues and all the social workers here on the Zoom. All I can do is say, I salute you, God bless you, and thank you, especially during this pandemic and this public emergency. You have been our frontliners, and our kids and our families, our consumers at Guam Behavioral Health, and all the consumers you serve could not navigate their challenges of life without you. So I salute you completely and bless you and your families for the hard work and sacrifice you have given our island as public servants. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ariola. I see from Department of Corrections, I see at a glance two people, Teresa and Mark. Would either of you like to chime in?
Sure. Good morning, senators and everyone, all our partners here today. Congratulations to all of you. I salute you as well, and I want to thank you for your service and join in everyone in recognizing National Social Work Month. It is definitely a sometimes thankless job, but this honor today and recognition makes it all worth it. I want to encourage all of you to continue doing what you do, and also to remember that in what we do, especially here at the department, we work with a lot of trauma that had been untreated from the time of childhood. And so it's very difficult for us to try to embrace everything from our end. So as you are partners, I want to continue to ask for your assistance and support in dealing with our population who had gone from childhood to adulthood as they re-enter the community. It's very challenging work. It's not one that's so pretty, but thank you so much for this recognition and inclusion. Thank you, everybody. Mark, would you like to add anything?
I guess not. A group that I mentioned that was also with us, the University of Guam social worker students have also joined us today. And I just want to also comment that as part of our work also is especially in this month of Mes Chamorro and Women's History Month and Social Workers Recognition Month, you know, the importance that we all play in not only caring for our community, but in fostering and nurturing and educating those that will take up the charge and succeed us. So I want to also, you know, commend the UOG students for entering into this field. And if Dr. Lisa Natividad is on board, I don't see her in this large screen, but if I'd like to invite anybody on behalf of the University of Guam social worker students, if they'd like to share some comments to the panel.
Hi, this is Lisa. I can speak a little bit, and I want to thank you all for the support of our profession. It's so wonderful to see the different agency heads here and to have an audience, honestly, with our legislators. And it just, you know, every year in March, we celebrate Social Work Month. And part of our festivities, the NASW hosts an annual conference, which is slated in a couple of weeks from today. So we do have a 2-day conference that's forthcoming. And this is really timely because part of our Social Work Month celebration includes awards. And so one of our nominees for this particular year's award is the Social Work Student Alliance, or SWASA. And I put forth the nomination of our students largely because of their very active activism, particularly at the legislature. And so, you know, this is just such a beautiful opportunity wherein we work across between the students and our legislators in terms of addressing some of our social work needs. So you will definitely be hearing from us in the next few weeks as our students have been working very diligently on different things related to our profession. But I'd also like to invite Ms. Brianna Duenas, who's the president of our Social Work Student Alliance, who informed us about this event today, to share.
Brianna?
Yes, off the day, everybody, and thank you so much for the resolution presentation. I know that there is many people from across the different agencies here, and I want to thank you all personally for supporting students' education and being field instructors, field supervisors for us. It's definitely fun, and we are so excited to be out in the field with you come May. Thank you, and Viva Social Work.
Yes, I'd like Viva. Thank you, Yoji. I'd like to invite somebody from DOE, Mr. Sanchez, or other people from your group. Please share some remarks this morning. Or Erica, or
Sure. My name is Erica Cruz, Deputy Superintendent for Educational Support and Community Learning. I oversee the Division of the School Climate and Culture and Engagement Division, which the social workers are under. We also have social workers under our special education program. That's why we have Assistant Associate Superintendent for special education, Tom Babauta here, as well as our Head Start program. And so we have 26,000 students that we service on a daily basis. And though it's just Social Work Month, our social workers are committed every single day for acknowledging and helping our students and our administrators. It's very difficult to educate a student when students are hungry or homeless. And so our social workers are there every time, every day, trying to reach out to our families to assist them so that they can get their children back into our school system. And so I congratulate our Department of Education social workers and the work that they continuously do on a daily basis, whether it's a weekday or a weekend. They're there assisting our school administrators in ensuring the health and safety of our students. So Biba social workers.
Mr. Sanchez, do you care to speak?
Oh, thank you. Yes, on behalf of the Department of Education, all our management team, we just really want to congratulate and thank all of our social workers, not just from the Department of Education, from all of the, the other agencies as well. Erica put it right, where, in our education process, we have so many students who experience a variety of challenges that just make it difficult for them to focus solely on their education. And we have so many partnerships with a number of agencies here that are always willing and able and ready to provide the support to our students, and in some cases our families, because we know that when families need the support, it's not just the kids, and the agencies here are always willing and very fast to respond to all of their needs. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you for the work that you do. Our community on Guam is very fortunate to have you behind us. So thank you, Senator. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. I just want to also acknowledge the presence of Mayfei Wuko, who works very much with the families in distress and our children. Mayfei, thank you for being on board as well, and I just want to acknowledge you. Again, there are many who have joined today from the various agencies within our government, including the Department of Public Health and Social Services, the Child Protective Services, Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, Department of Education. We have Department of Youth Affairs, Department of Corrections, and some of our providers such as West Care Pacific Island, Sanctuary Incorporated, Catholic Social Services, Ali'i Shelter, Erica's House, American Legion Guam. And I also want to, on this month of Women's History Month, just acknowledge all the unspoken heroes in our community, the mothers, the aunties, the sisters, the friends, who in some way or another share in the burden of providing care, social care for our residents on Guam, and who oftentimes are the conduits to getting services by your agencies to their loved ones or their acquaintances and friends. So I think that indeed this time is right for social workers right now, where we especially recognize not only your professionalism and your critical need, but also the interplay that we have with every single member of the community and the critical role that we all play in partnering with you to getting people in need to you so that they can receive the services. So again, I unless there's somebody that I have missed, it's a very large attendance today. So I apologize if I've glossed over somebody inadvertently. But if somebody would like to share some words, you're free to speak up right now. Just unmute yourself and speak. And to the audience, if you'd like. Okay. So if not, I would like to then thank everybody for participating today. We have this resolution number 249-36 LS, which copies will be distributed to everybody, a hard copy. We apologize that in this climate, we aren't here to personally thank you and hug you and give you a handshake and express our sincere Siduos Maasi for everything that you do. But this resolution is a small token of the appreciation of the senators, not only for what you do, but also for your advocacy with the legislature in bringing critical matters to our attention, in informing us about subject matter issues that perhaps are not within our realm of understanding, but certainly we learn to appreciate it through you. So thank you for your advocacy also. And in this month of March, we continue to pray for peace. We continue to pray for mental healthness. We pray for mindfulness, that we may all be not only personally aware of our situations, but be mindful of others and how we affect others and how others affect us. And with that, I just want to call this resolution presentation to a close and to tell you that we're here for you, and Siduos Maasi for what you do, and please continue to do what you do. Be strong for Guam, lead us by example, but mostly show us the heart that you all embody, and that essentially is really what draws people to you, is you have that heart to heal and that heart to help. And I think that nobody does it any better than social workers. So Siduos Maasi for all you do. And with that, thank you, Speaker Senator Shelton and Senator Brown, for joining me this morning. And thank you, everybody. This resolution is now at a close. Siduos Maasi.
Viva social workers. Thank you.
Viva.
Viva.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.